supposed to have some games.
Okay, out here in the garage doing a little prep work on the 403. Let's see, today is July 2nd, and I have plans to put the 403 or put the whole driveline in the 79 Calais 4th of July weekend. So I'm going to start working on it. I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, plus the weekend. So that'll give me plenty of time to pull the 260 out, get the 403 in there, and have time to get it running and driving. So try to work the bugs out of it. So hopefully there won't be any, since it was running good in the 78. But then again, it's going to have another carburetor on it. I'll show you that in a minute. And I'm still debating whether or not to throw a quick coat of paint on this, because I need to take the alternator bracket off to replace these ugly chrome valve covers. So that'll be out of the way. And I'm also going to be taking the water neck off of it because I want to make sure the thermostat's good. And I'll throw that in a pot of boiling water just to make sure the thermostat, opens up. So I'm basically doing a little bit of work to the 403 here. Still sitting here in the driveway under the tarps. Unfortunately, I don't have a place for it in the garage, but obviously it'll have a new home here shortly. And over here on the bench, I got 1, 2, 3, 4 Quadrajets sitting here on the bench. This is the one that was on the 403, and this is the one that got filled with water when the 403 was rained on. So I immediately took it apart because I didn't want it to corrode up, get all nasty inside, because these Quadrajets are made out of, or any carburetor mostly is made out of like a white metal or a pot metal, and when they get wet they corrode up very quickly. So you ever get water in a carburetor, immediately take it apart and blow it out. This carburetor came on the Hurst-Stolz, I believe that. No, this is the carburetor that came on the Hurst-Stolz, the one that I sold, and I rebuilt the original one on that car. So that's what that carburetor is from. Now this carburetor here, that looks basically next to brand new for the most part, I bought this carburetor back in the mid-90s. I went to a junkyard in North Carolina, got it off of out of a Buick Electra, I believe, that had a 403 in it. And I bought the carburetor because I knew someday I wanted to put a 403 in one of my cars. And I rebuilt this carburetor way back when. And so what I'm doing, I had it all ready to go. But, since that was a long time ago, and you think that at least you would hope that you're a little smarter than you were back in the day, I went ahead, pulled the air horn back off of it. Since it's never had gas in it, the gasket, it didn't ruin it, it just came right apart. I'm double checking the float setting, and I'm also double checking the power piston. This is an adjustment right here that is very critical, and if you ever rebuild a Quadrajet carburetor, that's something you don't want to mess with unless you know how to tune these things. And I did mess with this screw, and if you do mess with this screw, turn it all the way in until it bottoms out, and then back it out 3.5 to 4 turns, and that will get you pretty much where you need to be. You only really need that setting if you have a pretty big cam in it, because this is your off idle and cruising mixture screw. I think it's called the ATP throttle position. I'm not sure what it stands for. It might be in like adjustable throttle position. Anyone want to comment on that, go right ahead. But yeah, don't mess with that adjustment unless you know what you're doing. And if you did, 4 turns out, 3.5 to 4 turns out. I'm also double checking the float settings. So this carburetor will be ready to go on the 403. And that's pretty much it for now. Just wanted to give you a quick update on what's been happening with the 403. Still planning on doing that this weekend, so stay tuned for some videos on that. I can't wait to get it going. There it sits, awaiting its new home.